A cold December night, rain thrashing against the windows of a small broken house, and a single dad named Daniel waited for sleep that never came. His son coughed in the next room, medicine bottles half empty, unpaid bills scattered across the table like reminders of failure. Daniel sat on the floor, head in his hands, whispering prayers no one seemed to hear. Life had cornered him, a dying job, a sick child, and a heart heavy with exhaustion. He had no idea that just hours later, a frightened 19-year-old girl with bruises on her arms and tears frozen on her cheeks would appear at his doorstep, sold away by her own parents for money, desperate and alone. And he definitely didn't know that taking her in would change his world forever, that she would become a miracle stitched into the ruins of his broken life. If you believe in second chances, humanity, and kindness, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to channel name. Your support keeps more emotional stories alive. Daniel wasn't a cruel man, just a tired one. His wife had passed 3 years ago from cancer, leaving him alone to raise their little boy, Liam, a bright-eyed 7-year-old who still talked to pictures of his mother at night. Daniel worked 2 part-time jobs, one at a hardware store and one cleaning offices after hours. Yet money slipped through his fingers faster than he could earn it. Rent was late again. Liam's asthma medication was running out. Every day felt like trying to fill a leaking bucket. That night, when a soft knock echoed through the storm, Daniel expected trouble, a landlord demanding payment, or wind pushing at loose wood. Instead, when he opened the door, he found her. A girl, thin, drenched, trembling like a leaf. Her eyes were red with cold and sorrow. She clutched a bag no bigger than a grocery sack. She couldn't be older than 19. Fear wrapped around her like a cloak. Something inside Daniel, maybe the part of him that once believed the world could still be kind, told him not to close the door. She didn't explain much. Just that she had no one, that her parents gave her up for money to men she fled from, that she didn't want to go back. Her voice was broken, as if speaking itself hurt. Daniel hesitated, he could barely feed himself and Liam. But when he looked at her, lost and shaking in the rain, he remembered his own pain, how life can strip a person to bones and helplessness. So he let her in. Her name was Ava. The days that followed weren't easy. Ava barely spoke, flinching at loud sounds, waking up screaming sometimes. Liam tried to make her smile with drawings and childish jokes, leaving little notes on her door like, "You are safe here." Daniel didn't understand her trauma fully, but he recognized the emptiness in her eyes, the same emptiness he carried after losing his wife. They were 2 broken souls under one roof, silently learning how to breathe again. Food was scarce, so they shared what little they had, bread, soup, leftovers from Daniel's long shifts. Bill reminders kept coming. Winter dug deep, biting at their bones. Daniel sometimes cried quietly at night, pressing his fist to his mouth to keep Liam and Ava from hearing. He often thought about letting her go, sending her somewhere better, but where? To the streets? Back to people who treated her like property? No. His conscience wouldn't allow it. Weeks passed, and Ava slowly began helping around the house. She cleaned, cooked, and cared for Liam when Daniel was at work. She hummed while folding laundry, soft melodies filled with longing. Once, Daniel came home exhausted and found dinner waiting, the first real meal they'd had in weeks. The house smelled of warmth, garlic, rice, tomatoes. Something inside him cracked open, and gratitude made his eyes sting. Ava began smiling, small, trembling smiles like a person learning how to live again. She found comfort in Liam's laughter, in Daniel's quiet presence, in having a bed where nightmares faded slowly instead of growing sharper. She told Daniel that no one had ever protected her before. That no one ever offered love without wanting something back. He simply listened, offering silence filled with understanding instead of pity. But life doesn't heal without more tests. One morning, Daniel collapsed at work, exhaustion and stress taking their toll. Hospital bills followed, cruel and heavy. His job suspended him while he recovered. No income. No stability. Rent overdue again. Food shrinking to almost nothing. He hid his panic, but Ava saw it. She always noticed things, the way his shoulders slumped, how he stared at unpaid bills as if they were storms ready to swallow him whole. Ava made a decision that reshaped everything. She took Liam's hand, kissed his forehead, and told him she'd be back soon. Then she walked out into the cold world she feared, not to run, not to give up, but to fight. She searched for work tirelessly, facing rejection after rejection. People judged her scars, her silence, her lack of experience. But she didn't stop. She refused to be a burden. She wanted to repay the kindness that saved her. Finally, a cafe owner took a chance on her. It wasn't much, minimum wage, long hours, but Ava worked with fire in her heart. Every paycheck she brought home, she placed on the table in front of Daniel. He refused at first, pride burning, but she held his hands, eyes filled with determination and gratitude. She told him he saved her life when he had nothing to give. That supporting him now wasn't repayment, it was love formed from shared suffering. Together they survived. Bills were paid slowly. Groceries filled shelves that had once been empty. Liam's medicine was bought, and his health improved. The house warmed with light and laughter again. Ava enrolled in evening classes with Daniel's encouragement. She wanted to study nursing, to help people the way he helped her. Months rolled into years. Ava grew into strength, confidence, and hope. She celebrated Liam's birthdays like a mother would, the kind Daniel thought Liam would never have again. She brought color to walls once dim with grief. She became family, not by blood, but by love. And then came the day that proved she was more than a blessing, she was a miracle. Daniel's old workplace offered him a managerial position, impressed by his dedication before his collapse. It came with better pay, stability, insurance. A turning point. When he brought the news home, Ava threw her arms around him, crying into his chest, tears of relief, pride, belonging. Liam hugged them both, laughing, chanting, "We did it. We did it." That night they sat together at dinner, a real dinner, with meat, vegetables, warm bread, and for the first time in years, Daniel felt whole. He looked across the table at Ava, the girl he once found trembling in the rain, now glowing with purpose. She saved him as much as he saved her. Life had written two broken stories, then stitched them into one miracle. In time, neighbors learned what Daniel had done. They called him a hero, a kind soul in a cruel world. But he always said the same thing: Ava saved us more than we saved her. She graduated top of her class years later. Liam stood in the audience cheering louder than everyone. Daniel watched with tears streaming, heart full, knowing he'd witnessed something rare, love born from mercy. Before the story ends, if this journey touched your heart even a little, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to channel name. Your encouragement keeps stories of hope alive. Special request: comment below. Miracles exist if you believe a small act of kindness can change a life forever. A single dad opened his door to a broken stranger. He never imagined she would grow into the very light that healed his home. Sometimes miracles do not arrive shining, sometimes they arrive trembling in the rain, waiting for someone to choose compassion. And Daniel chose her. She became his miracle.